Initially I wasn't going to speak on this one, but I think I will. My guy here, and this is about Black people, Black businesses doing better, providing better service, providing better products so that we can build our community and we can then support one another. And he said that, and he didn't agree. He didn't think that he thought it would never happen in a previous video. And I responded to that one. But he said that in my area, Black people didn't even speak to each other, uh, let alone build a Wakanda. Good luck. Well, I appreciate the good luck part. And I did ask the question, where are you from? I just asked it. He ain't had a chance to respond to it. But I asked where he's from, and it made me, I started thinking about the fact of how different we are. And we will take our microcosm, I did say this to him, take our microcosm and make it the macrocosm. You can't do that, because I can't even take my experience here in Atlanta and make that the macro of how Black people would be and how they would respond. Because I know how we do things in Atlanta is not necessarily how things are done in New York. I'll give you a great example of that. So when I was a personal trainer and I decided to go away from the gym and strike out on my own and do an in-home personal training company, one of my Caucasian female clients, she begged me to wait another month and then she would transfer her contract to me as an individual. So I waited a month and she promised me that I'm going to make sure that you get a bunch of clients and that sort of thing if you will wait. So I waited. And after I walked away from the gym, within a month, she had recommended me to so many people that it tripled my income in that 1 month. In an effort of showing gratitude, I took her out for lunch. Well, while we was going out for lunch, I see another Black person and they respond. See another Black person and they respond. This happened to a degree that when we sat down, she said, "You must be very popular because you know everybody." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Everybody, all of you spoke to, and they spoke to you and acknowledged a whole bunch of people." I was like, "No, that's just what Black people do. That's just what Black people do." And I explained to her how that came out of the common oppression that our ancestors went through, especially here in the South, that we acknowledged each other. It was also coded for some as acknowledging that that way down by the river meant to meet down by the river. We're going to have a little meeting or we finna escape. So it was a sign of acknowledgement of your suffering, acknowledgement of your oppression, acknowledgement of our unity. That is something that I grew up with here in the South. That is something that still happens here in the South. I did notice that when a lot of Northerners from New York moved to the South, they didn't understand that and would have an attitude as to, why the hell are you speaking to me? I don't know you. And anytime I went up north, I spent 28 days working in the LaGuardia and Kennedy. And naturally, I see another Black person. How you doing? And the New Yorkers, the native New Yorkers, would be like, "The fuck you want?" Yes, there is a difference in that behavior, but it's relative to where you are. 2 years ago, me and my brother rode across country and riding across the South, across country to LA. Every Black person we saw nodded. They nodded. They acknowledged one another. The North is a little bit different. So I grant you that people may not speak to each other up north or wherever you are, but your microcosm does not make the macrocosm. And then the beautiful thing of the law of innovation of diffusion is that you don't need everybody to do something. All you need is to go over the tipping point of 15 to 18%. Once you go over that tipping point, then the next 34% will join in. If we only get that 18% and then the next 34%, which still is only representing a little over 50% of the people, then a powerful entity we shall become. We don't need the other 40 whatever percent to do so. So even to build a Wakanda, so to speak, we don't need everybody. As long as we have the mentality that we need everybody in order to get something done, we're never going to be able to get anything done, because Caucasians don't have everybody. At the same time that they had slavery, they had abolitionists. At the same time they had people who wanted revolution, they had people who wanted to stay loyal to the crown. In every country, in every people group, there are always those who do not want to go with the program that may be progress, or in some cases, like the Third Reich, is not progress. So you're not going to have everybody in agreement. We don't need everybody to be in agreement. All we have to do is begin the movement, continue to push the movement, change the minds of that first 18%. When that first 18% changes their mind, the next 34% will join in. After that, we've established ourselves. And then the next 34% are going to join in because they feel like it's safe now, which is what happened with the last big movement, which was the civil rights movement. After the 34%, first 34% joined in, then the other ones felt like, okay, it's safe and it's the norm and that's where we're going. And yeah, I've been here from the beginning, lying ass. But but I do appreciate your thought process. Appreciate your commentary, but maybe you should change that in your area. Speak to people, consistently speak to people, and you might be surprised at how many people start speaking back. I did notice that although Atlanta is now a transient city like a big dog, the ones from other places have adopted the process of when we see each other, we recognize each other. So you have a great day. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non negotiable. Good journey, good vibration.